Amazing sneakers don't have to break the bank. In this video, I decided to break out 5 pairs of Air Force One lows that are very underrated and are still affordable. We've got a couple pairs of white-on-whites from 2007, the Carnival Edition from 2003, and lastly, the red suede Raging Bulls from 2011. Air Force Ones first came out in 1982, and they're the first basketball shoe to feature air technology. Not visible air, that didn't happen until the late 80s with the Air Revolution. But either way, they're the first basketball shoe to feature Nike Air. And over the years, thousands and thousands of them have come out. They come out in highs, mids, and lows. There's actually an awesome Soul Collector magazine from 2007. It celebrates the 25-year anniversary of the Air Force One, and it breaks down 600 different models. Now, I said it before, there's at least 2,000 Air Force Ones. You can go online and Google search Air Force One-thology, and you can even go on Facebook. They have their very own Air Force One page, and it chronicles a whole bunch of different models that have come out. Come on over here though, let's have a look at these 5 low tops. We've got 2 pairs of white-on-whites from 2007. In 2007, to celebrate the 25-year anniversary of the Air Force One, the shoe was re-engineered and it was made in tons and tons of different models. Now these 2 shoes that you're looking at here are actually quite different, even though they look very similar. The pair in the gray box retailed for $75. The pair in the black box was a Supreme model that retailed for $200. And back in 2007, the idea of a $200 Air Force One was outlandish. At the same time, by the way, Nike broke the 4-digit price point with 2 pairs of $2,000 Air Force Ones in 2007, the Anaconda and the Crocodile. But back to these white-on-white ones. Let's start over here with the general release model. This is, according to DJ Clark Kent, the greatest sneaker of all time, #1. Complex did a magazine ranking the 100 best Air Force Ones, and they said the white-on-white low was #1, and they quoted DJ Clark Kent. Now, when you look at this general release and you start comparing the details to the Supreme release, you can see that there are actually some slight differences. Now, on the Supreme, there's not a whole lot of stitching up here. It's almost like the beginning of the VacTech era, where there's minimal stitching and layers of shoes are sort of seamed on top of one another. You're also going to notice that these shoes have very fancy doubrés down here. The doubré is that bottom metal piece on the Air Force One. And then also when you look at the laces of this shoe, they're going to have these fancy silver aglets. Now, this actually unscrews right here. And I used to buy tons of these shoes at the Nike outlets, and I would always be very upset when I would bring them home and find out that one of the aglets was missing. Believe it or not, I used to go to the Nike outlets and take aglets from other shoes, just in case I had a pair that was missing some. Also, the Supreme model came with these little hang tags signed by Bruce Kilgore, the designer of the shoe. I used to also take these at the outlet stores to make sure that when I was selling a pair of shoes, if it came with these accessories, that I had them every single time. Let's work our way over to these 2 shoes, the Carnival Editions from 2003, very underrated. Look at these bright, beautiful colors, yellow zest on one, orange flash on the other. At this time, I was also buying Air Riffs at the outlets and selling them on eBay, and I remember that they had the same colorways, the yellow zest and the orange flash. I used to buy those Riffs for $19.99, and I would sell the socks that came with the Riffs for $20 and then sell the Riffs for about $100. But here's an example 10 or 11 years ago when Nike had a popular colorway and they would take it and put it on a few different shoes. These shoes celebrate the Notting Hill Carnival in London, but a lot of people call these the Carnival in celebration of Brazil's Carnival. They also feature classic green on here, which is a color from very popular SBs like the Buck and also the Heineken. And you may know the orange flash color from a very popular pair of Nike Dunk SBs from the Orange Box 2002 era. Anyway, bright colors always make the shoe. Let's pop on top of these Carnival Editions the Raging Bull. Beautiful red suede, a general release. Actually, all of these shoes that we're looking at here are general releases with the exception of that $200 Supreme Air Force One. But when this shoe came out, it just sort of sat around and actually ended up hitting the outlets. I bet if this shoe came out today, and if Nike started calling this the Raging Bull, the Toro Bravo, if they linked this up to the Jordan 5s and the Jordan 4s, it would sell out in this modern day age of internet hype. But these sat around. Same thing with some red suede pimento was the colorway. Air Max 1s that came out at about the same time. They hit the outlets just like these, but it's all about the colorway, as we've seen here, from white to yellow to orange to red. The ShoeZeum was set up like a rainbow. So when you walked through to a given exhibit, whether it was the Air Force 1s or the Dunks or the Air Max 1s or the Air Max 90s, the shoes would be set up by color and it was hypnotizing. Anyway, like I said, it's all about the colorway. You know this Air Force One is going to be cranked out forever until the end of time in different colors and different models. Lately, Nike's been making a ton of different basketball silhouettes with matching Air Force Ones. You gotta love these earlier models that are still affordable though.